Hey, how you doing? This is Seji Heats here to bring you the news. This is probably going to be a very short live stream, so we're just going to jump directly into it. So the main story that I wanted to really focus on is this one here, which is Indie Fresh Market opens on city's east side. And they said this happened in Indianapolis. They said the long-awaited Indie Fresh Market is now open near 38th Street and Sheridan Avenue, an area considered a food desert. Doors open Wednesday morning at 7 a.m., and the people did not waste time getting in line. One customer was the first who came out of the opening on Wednesday. While he wasn't first in the building, he made history. Quote, he said, I ran in and made sure I was the first one to buy something. I bought a bottle of ketchup because we're catching up. Catching up is exactly what this new market is striving to do, with tons of fresh produce to pick from, along with reasonable grocery prices. This black owned grocery store brings a new opportunity for a part of the city that's been without a grocery store option. Later on, they stated that another customer by the name of Lindsay usually travels to Castleton in order to shop. Now, she and others are taking pride in something this neighborhood can call its own. The store is operated by Michael McFarlane and Marcus Williams. Indie Fresh Market is also including the community in each step they will take. They later on they stated that last year a IU Public Policy Institute shared a study estimating an $11 million impact from the indie fresh market to start. So the reason I wanted to highlight this was due to the fact that too many times when I've done videos, I've continuously heard people always say like, "Oh, we got black men in suits and this, that, and the third. Why don't black men build anything? Why don't black men do anything for the community?" So you have two black men that literally built and placed a grocery store directly in the community. They literally brought food directly to the community. This is a community in Indianapolis that is considered a food desert. A food desert is basically an area where you have, let's say, like a Walmart or something of that nature, like a big corporation that was there, right? Originally, um, a lot of these towns and or these cities, these areas, they would have had mom and pop or local grocery, stores, the farmers markets, what have you. But due to the fact that the large corporations come in, they tend to absorb a lot of those smaller markets. So when they absorb a lot of those smaller markets and those smaller markets become a part of them, everybody in the area is pretty much supporting that large corporation. So if anything happens to that large corporation, guess what? Now you got a food desert. And this is why people stated that you should always make sure to shop at your local mom and pop or your local market or your farmers market and different things of that nature because they need your support. Those are support driven, community driven efforts and areas, right? The government is not going to support your local market, right? Other people from other states are not going to support your local market. People traveling into your state are not going to support your local market or your mom and pop shop. It depends directly on the community to specifically do those things, right? And this is why I have the video playing on repeat in the background where you can clearly see people of the community. They're excited, they're happy. You see the elders walking directly into the market when normally they would have to go to a whole nother extent, a whole nother, city or whatnot to go, grocery shopping. Like I said, this is a proud moment. This is what, black ownership looks like. This is exactly what that can do. The other thing that I want to bring up, of course, is the comments that, people like to sit up there and leave. And I made sure to highlight one of them, right? One of them by the name of Lynn Steele said that it will be looted and destroyed within a week. Now, this is also what happens when you have black owned anything, right? People want to try to bring up unnecessary negativity, and they want to throw it directly at black people. They want to throw these things directly at black people doing and commit it to something that is a positive initiative. You would actually think that somebody like Lynn, old couple, you would think that they would be the ones that would want to, champion and, they want to cheer this on, right? Because this is something positive. This is something not just for, that black community, but this is something that's going to make America, right, look great. But this also shows you that a lot of those individuals that you think that look oh so nice, those old couples and different things of that nature, this really shows you how a lot of them really are, how it is that they actually feel and judge black people, oh so harshly, because they really feel that, nothing good is going to come from this. They feel that this is automatically going to get destroyed in a matter of days because that's what they want to see, right? That's all they want. They want the negativity. They just want to see all of that happen. Now, let a market have opened up in their area, right? It was a brand new market they never seen before. They would have been, ecstatic. They would have been elated. They would have been happy, right? But due to the fact that it's black owned, due to the fact that it's opening in a black area to help black people who are suffering from lack of food so that the elders there don't have to, go to far lengths in order to get the things that they need, this is what that looks like. Another person stated, called himself the humble servant, said, explain to me like I'm 4 years old. How and why there is a so called food desert there to begin with. In the blue city I live in, the food desert is a new phenomenon only existing in the last 3 years since George Floyd. Now, the main thing that I want people to spot here is that if you happen to see anybody in a conversation wanting to go back as far and list George Floyd, they're letting you know how old they are. And I'm not saying that this is somebody that this is young. This is somebody that is old, older, because they tend to want to gravitate towards certain things, right, in order to try to highlight or say a problem, right? They said then theft, looting made it impossible for stores. And again, the main thing that I want people to understand, a lot of these comments are strictly 1000% ignorant. And they want to try to list protests. They were like, oh, well, whenever they happen to protest, this is what inevitably ends up happening. No, this is not what inevitably ends up happening. We haven't had protests for quite some time, and you have had a multitude of stores closed down. Better yet, I'll put it to you to this aspect. There hasn't been anything severely going on with banks, but yet you've had a lot of central branches closing down. You have main branches in cities. Sometimes you might have 3 to 4 of them closing down. So are we going to sit up there and say that that's because of the black community? Are we going to say that that's because of protesting against the police? Are we going to say that that's because of protesting in general? No, we're not. But see how it is that people want to try to attach something that they deem as a negative directly to something to say that this is the causation, this is the reason why. But then when it comes to something that is a glaring issue that's happening all over the United States, nobody can happen to bring up a why, as to why it is that these branches are closing up. They're just telling you that these branches are closing up, right? But I guess humble servant doesn't doesn't care about that, about his, his Chase or his Wells Fargo or his Bank of America or his Santander or whatever it is that's closing up. I guess he doesn't really care about that. It just has to be about the food market. You just gotta really come for the food market as if it's really causing some type of issue to you or to your family, which again, it's not. But again, like I stated before, and I'm going to just restate this again, the food desert is going to take place all over the United States. it's just going to just happen to black people first, right? They're going to test it out on black people first, just like everything else just so happens to get tested out on black people first. So the moment in time that that takes place and they see what transpires, they see what works and what doesn't work, they're going to start to do this in other cities. They're going to start to do this in other states. Like I said, before any of these protests or anything like that, I've been seeing, Big K, Super K, stores like that closing up. This is before we had any type of protest or anything like that. But people didn't want to pay attention, right? They didn't have a rhyme or a reason. These people that want to come through and they want to try to talk negatively about black people in the black community, they couldn't really point towards that for those big K and those super Ks closing up, right? But like I said, people are going to learn sooner rather than later. And then those people, they're laughing now and they're going to be crying later. These people that I'm able to highlight, that I'm showcasing to you, that want to say all of this nonsensical stuff about this black supermarket opening up, they're going to be crying a lot later. And then they're going to be wishing and hoping and pulling and prying for everybody to supernaturally come together in order to help them defeat whatnot or whatever. But it's going to be something of their own making. So, it is what it is. You got DW that said, and it will be robbed repeatedly until it closes. And the funniest thing about that is I've seen areas where the percentage is more than likely one, if not lower percentage of African American, and they still have crime rates that are pretty high. They still have bank robberies that take place. They still have muggings that take place. They still have loss of life that take place. They still have, a problem with narcotics being on the streets and getting directly into the schools. So, again, like I said before, people want to, try to make this a type of thing where it's like, oh yeah, this is because of, the black community that is there. Oh, they open up a store, no problem. It'll be closed down in a week. It won't last that long. Like I said, these are people that don't want to see the African American community actually prosper, get up and do something. Remember how many times we've seen this before across America where people have sat up there and said, "Oh, why don't the African American community, instead of begging and asking for handouts, why don't they get up and actually build something? Why don't they actually do something for themselves?" And you see what happens when black people do something for themselves. They still end up getting some type of hate pointed directly towards them, which is 1,000% crazy, which is 1,000% ridiculous, right? Something else that I wanted to highlight is this image right here. Now let me see if I can zoom this in for you guys real quick. I wanted to showcase the fact that you got a father here. This is a black father, right? And these are images. This is an image that doesn't even get shown really in the media. Even when I saw it directly on Twitter, I was like, "Yo, this is dope!" Like, I can't wait to see the messages that are directly underneath, this video. And I go and I look at the video, and I can't say that I was shocked or surprised. There were probably only about 12 messages directly underneath the video about a black father being in a house taking care of his kids supernaturally after all the stuff that people normally want to say, right? Now this is, like I said, I want people to pay attention. Whenever you have a positive image of a black man, people will not gravitate towards that image. People will literally flee it. They will treat that image like leprosy. They will treat it like the plague, right? They will run from that to the greatest. They will treat it like it is Satan itself. But when it comes to any negative image, people will quickly attach themselves to that image, right? People will make sure that they are going to attach themselves to a negative image, bring up all types of negative stories or anything that's relatable negatively. And then you'll see this large echo chamber of other people start to gather. So then they can add in and pile in on top of this negative story, these negative images, and associate themselves with the negative imagery of black men. But nobody really wants to attach themselves to this positive site. Ain't that amazing? And again, I'm doing this to showcase to people how it is that people tend to make money, right? If you go to, again, I have to sit up there and keep pointing and bringing this out. If you go to a lot of these YouTube channels, these Twitter pages, these TikToks, and whatever, and you look at all of the divestors, right? And they always want to talk about black fathers, black men not doing this, not doing that. I showed you two positive stories. One, you see the black father sitting up there taking care of his child, sitting up there, washing the child's hair with, with the baby shampoo and, and combing through it, with the little, with the soft bristle. And then the other story is the fact that two black men got together and opened up a black supermarket in a black neighborhood that it was going through at the point in time being a food desert. But yet, how many of those divestors are going to point that out? How many of them are actually going to talk about that? All of those women that normally want to say negative things about black men, how many of them are going to attach themselves directly to this? They're not. Because their fan base is built upon direct hate. It's built on the emotional hate and is built upon the image that they are built to hate. So because of that, it is impossible for them to decide to want to switch gears and start to show positive imagery, because then their fan base is going to look at them like they're crazy. Like, yo, why are you showing us this? Why are you sitting up there showing us black men doing what it is that they're supposed to be doing? Right? That's going to be, the next thing. Right? This is what they're supposed to be doing. Why do I need to see this? Right? Because it's letting you know that they're fixated on the negative. They feed off of the negative. That's what they love. A lot of people love to hate, and they also hate to love. So the other thing that I'm going to bring up are these two images here. If I can actually get them real quick. Right. Let me see if I can actually get these transformed. Now, I did put some stuff directly up there earlier referring to this. But like I said, nobody has to, take any of that stuff, directly, serious, anything like that. Just, throw some stuff up there. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Um, I'm not going to get into the whole aspect of dealing with, frequencies and different things of that nature. Because I completely understand that people are in totally different places and areas, mentally. And like I said before, I ain't trying to force or press nothing upon people who are not ready to sit up there and understand different things. I actually have to pull this up a little bit differently. Let me see where I got this. Right here. All right, so we got the public test announcement that's going to be happening for about a good 30 minutes across the United States. I got to read this from a whole different screen. So it said, what is the purpose of the national test? The national test will help to ensure the wireless emergency alerts, the WEA, and the emergency alert system, EAS, continue to be effective. Ways to warn the public about emergencies, particularly those on the national level. If the October 4th, 2023 test is postponed due to widespread severe weather or other significant events, the backup testing date is October 11th. So we all know that, well, at least for where I'm at this moment in time, it's completely sunny outside. I don't see a cloud out there, so it's more than likely going to be happening today around to some at the moment in time. Lady said, "What must I do to receive the national test? Nothing. Why are you testing the system now? Legislation passed back in 2015 requires FEMA to conduct nationwide tests of IPAWS at least once every 3 years. The test can include WEA, EAS, and other alerts and warning systems. The most recent national test was in 2021. What will the national test display on the mobile phone? This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No actions needed. Phones set to Spanish will display Esta. Well, you know what? We're not even going to do it because I do not know Espanol. The test will include tones and vibrations to capture your attention. What will the national test announce on televisions and radios? Same thing. This is a national test of the emergency alert system issued by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, covering the United States from 1420 to 1450 hours Eastern Time. This is only a test. No action is required by the public. How do I ensure that I receive the national test? All major United States wireless providers participate in wireless emergency alerts and will transmit the national test to their subscribers. If you have a WEA compatible mobile phone that is on within range of an effective cell tower and on a network where the WEA is supported, you should receive the national test. Wireless providers will transmit the national test for 30 minutes, but your phone should only receive it once. Now, note they said, but your phone should only receive it once. Some providers do not participate in the WEA and will not transmit the national test. Some providers may participate in WEA on part of their network. If your radio or TV is on and tuned to a broadcast station, the satellite radio or television service or cable or wireless TV, it should receive the national test from the emergency alert system. Secondary page. It says, is there a cost to receive the national test? No. Do I need to sign up to receive the wireless emergency alert or the national test? No. Sign up account or subscription is needed to receive the WEA or the national test. Some local governments have their own mass notification system that requires subscriptions. Can the national test monitor, locate, or lock my phone? No. Will the national test be used to gather my private data? No. Both EAS and WEA are broadcast technologies that do not collect any of your data. The test is designed to evaluate the effectiveness of the system in sending an emergency message. What if I am on the phone call? What if I'm on a phone call at the time of the national test? The national test will not interrupt a phone call. I will be traveling away from home on October 4th. Will I still receive the national test? If your mobile phone is on and receives service from a participating wireless provider, you should receive the national test. Can I opt out of the test in my phone settings? Recent models of phones may include a setting to opt out of tests and alerts. None of those settings will affect the 2023. Hold on, let me just reread that one more time. Hold on, give me a second. I'm a little bit slow here. So it said, can I opt out of a test in my phone settings? It said recent models of mobile phones may include a setting to opt out of tests and alerts. None of those settings will affect the 2023 national test. If your mobile phone is on and receiving service from a participating wireless provider, you should receive the national test. So basically, technically, you can't, to an extent, opt out of it. Even though you got settings directly in your phone, they can override your phone and still. Come on now. Next, they said, I didn't receive the national test on my mobile phone. Why? They say only WEA compatible phones that are switched on, not on airplane mode within range of an active cell tower, and on a network where the wireless provider participates in WEA will be capable of receiving that test message. So, again, I've talked to y'all before about sounds and and all different types of things and whatnot or whatever. I'm not even about to sit up there and even push that here today. I ain't even gonna sit up there and do it because like I said, I'm just gonna meet people where it is that they are. And the main thing that I would just tell people is that if you don't want to, deal with the test, your best bet is to, more than likely just unplug your phone. If you got a smart fridge, I don't know what to tell you, but you can unplug your phone, take the battery out if you got that type of phone still. Remember, I told y'all before my phone is from 2017, so I can easily just take the battery just out my phone if I feel like it or whatnot or whatever. If you got a smart television, more than likely you can just unplug it or swap it to a channel where it is not on a broadcasting channel at all, and you should not get that type of alert. When it deals with computers, to my knowledge, computers are not really getting that alert. It would be actually pretty weird if that were the case and that were to happen, because it wouldn't make any type of sense um, at all. But they basically told you that even if your phone does have the settings to opt out, that option is not going to affect the 2023 test that is going to happen today. Um, so, if you're out and about or whatnot or whatever, I guess if you don't want to hear it or deal with it, your phone will just be off, probably up until around, after 30 minutes, or you'll just turn it back on at, 4 p.m. or whatnot or whatever. One thing that I've seen before that was weird was even if my phone was on airplane mode or if my phone might have been, off or what have you, the alert would still come through after I cut the phone back on, right? It'll in a sense play catch up or whatever it is that you want to specifically have that as. So this is again where we are at this moment in time. I've never really liked the fact that they can push automatic alerts to the phone, because this is the exact same government that it's like, hey, we can push alerts to your phone, and we can, directly go into your bank account and get money that we feel that you owe us. But the moment in time that the government owes you something or needs to pay you, the government is like, hey, it's going to take us like 14 business days, 30 business days. We don't know what's going on, but we'll get back to you. Right? Ain't it funny? The funny, the government can instantly do stuff when they want to do it, but when it's time for them to actually do stuff for you, magically they just take their sweet time. They just take their sweet time. So, like I said before, I just think that, it's funny. Much love, respect, and appreciation for, the birthday wishes. I mostly don't, tend to say nothing. It just so happened to have gotten highlighted today. So, yeah. um, what Gail said, the programming is real. Yeah, that's true. So let me just go through. Shout out, much love, respect, and appreciation to everybody's here. So let me just list off everybody's here. We got JK here. We got Gail. We got Lamiko. Yo, what is up? What is up, brother? What is up? We got Pink in the building. We got Arctic Sun. We got Hack in the building. We got Cupcake in here. We got Vincent Taylor. We got Black on the Inside. Who else we got up here? So yeah, shout out to everybody that's directly here at this moment of time. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Gil said, "We don't own these phones. We're renting them. They get on my nerves. Always asking for permission to update, and when you don't comply in a timely manner, they update anyway." Well, this is the thing that I stated before, that if you got an iPhone, for anybody out there, and this is not any type of conspiracy or anything like that. And I feel that people who have iPhones should directly know about this. If you have an iPhone, you might want to go look up the lawsuit or whatnot that took place some time ago, where Apple was sued, and it was proven that the updates that they were doing to their phone, they were causing the phone to purposefully slow down by bloating the phone and doing stuff with the updates to like the battery and stuff like that to force people to go to the next version of the phone to spend more money. Nobody should have to, in a sense, have to buy a brand new phone every 6 months. Like that just makes no sense. If you as a maker decide to bring out a phone, it is what it is. Again, I'm using a phone from 2017. That phone, it might not technically still receive the same updates that it should, right? Because they opted, whatever. But the main thing about it is that the phone still works. I can still make phone calls. I can still do text messages. I can still surf the web if I want to, all that other type of good stuff. I just can't do the things that everybody else is able to do. Take great pictures. I can't play video games on my phone or whatnot, whatever. But as long as the phone works, that's all that matters. And I can control if the phone is on or if the phone is off because I can take off the battery. So it doesn't matter, whatever it is that they decide to do. If I take out that battery, that phone is dead, right? So, and Gail is correct. A lot of the things that we quote unquote own that we buy, outright or how you want to sit up there and put it, we technically don't own because at any moment in time, any of these phone makers, they can do an update which can kill your phone. They can do anything that they want to do to their device because this is their IP. This is still their device. We're in a sense just leasing the device, right? We can pay $1,000 for a phone, but if they decide to sit up there and be like, all right, well, we're not going to update the phone anymore. We're not going to give any firmware updates. We're not going to give any type of security directly to these phones. Is anybody who paid $1,000 going to sue the phone companies for providing them a phone that they no longer support? No, because you can't. You can't. It's nothing that you can sit up there and do about that. It is what it is, what it is. It's the same thing with game systems and everything else that we basically own. It's the same thing with cars. It's going to get to the same way with cars as well. So again, I would just tell people it would behoove you to make sure that you keep a car that no matter what happens in the future, always make sure that you keep a car that runs on gas or keep a motorcycle or something. Because in a lot of these other countries, they are already implementing laws where they're working on getting rid of cars that run on gas. So again, I want people to understand it, and this is coming from a futurist. This is coming from somebody who loves technology, but I can also see the detrimental effects. Nobody should be forced, no society should be forced to only drive electric cars. You should have options. Maybe you want a hybrid car, ethanol with gas. Maybe you want a different type of hybrid car. Maybe you do want an electric car. Maybe you want a gas car. Maybe you want to drive a Model T. You should have the option to have any type of car that you want. No government should directly be able to tell you like, oh, you can't have this car anymore because we say so. That's crazy. And this is why I sat up there and brought up the video to you guys before where in New York they're working by a certain date to get rid of the gas stoves that are in New York. And I'm trying to get people to understand again, if they get rid of gas stoves, then that means if the electricity or anything like that, if anything detrimental, like a natural disaster happens in New York and everybody has electric stoves, everybody is screwed. You're not boiling water. If there's a water advisory during the time of the electricity going down, you're not boiling your water. What does that then mean? You have to go where the government tells you, oh, we have some water for you. You got to go to these specific areas to get this water. And guess what? You're going to have everybody trying to race there. You're going to have people trying to fight. It's going to be chaos. So again, this is why over time I've tried to tell people to, get certain things. Get your water purifiers. Make sure you get, backup batteries and generators. Make sure they also got batteries that can charge on solar energy as well, that can run for a good 8 hours and different things of that nature. Like I said, this is why I've done, different live streams. This is why I've listed a variety of different things that I've listed away from the normal news that I've done, because mainstream media is not going to try to tell you anything. They're going to tell you when it's too late. They're going to tell you when the stuff is already done, because mainstream media already knows, right? They already got their programs and their news reports already prepared ahead of time. They're just waiting for the go from the people that's above them to basically give you this information. So if the people up top that own these broadcasting companies tell them, no, 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 you can't let the people know now, hold the information, they're going to hold that information. right? So again, like I said, I need y'all to just, pay attention. I'm gonna meet people where they at, and that's just how I'm gonna go about information. You know. So shout out to Miranda again. Shout out to Hack. Um, Let me see. Gail said, if a moment is precious to y'all, go ahead and print the photo. Ain't nothing wrong with a good old fashioned hard copy. These SOBs ain't ish. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, people don't even, like I said, even when it dealt with your phones and pictures, like I told people before, if you start to look at a lot of the contracts that we opt into and sign, some of the contracts, depending, they state that they can use your image and different things of that nature. But especially when everybody's using these AI apps and different things of that nature, they specifically state that you no longer have control of your. Once you give your image over to a lot of these programs, that is no longer your image because now you added that image to a collection. So now they can use your image or they can splice that image and all this other type of stuff. So if you happen to see artwork or whatever in the future that resembles you or that looks like you, think back to when you use some of this AI stuff. You might have used some AI facial recognition, technology, whatever it is. Like I said, this is all like, a training ground. That's all it is. Everything is a training ground at this moment in time, from the thumbprint technology, from the handprint technology, the iris scan technology, um, a lot of the facial technology that you use to basically open your phone. You're training a supercomputer of which you don't even know that actually exists. And again, nobody knows, where this information is specifically going. I mean, I know where it's going, but a lot of people don't understand where this information is going. They just think that, okay, well, I'm doing this, and the information disappears. Also, look up videos that showcase iPhones when people have infrared turned on. iPhone cameras are taking pictures directly of you, like every 5 or so seconds, and there's no reason for your phone to take pictures of you like that periodically throughout the day, right? If you're not taking pictures, why is your phone taking pictures of you? So again, people gotta kind of pay attention. Remember, they got everybody attached to a lot of these apps. So you got TikTok, you got IG, and all these other types of things. Your phone is directly in front of your face. So even though you know you're watching your phone, you don't understand the fact that your phone is watching you. Another thing, not to scare people, but another thing that's going to inevitably happen, um, is that at a point in time some years ago, you had the scare where people were like, oh no, hackers are taking over my Surrey, or whatever type of Nest, Google Nest, or whatever it was, right? And hackers were able to do that because the thing has an internet connection. The other thing that people have to understand too, just like with a webcam and different things of that nature, you will have hackers that are able to do the same thing with your phone, right? So just again, just be very careful, and pay attention to a lot of the news and different things of that nature that goes on when it deals with technology, phones, different types of hacks. Doesn't matter if it's government or if it's local, if it's statewide, if it deals with a game system or anything of that nature. You never know where any of the information can just so happen to go. Right. We also got that guy from Texas in here. What is up? What is up? What is up? Gail said, let them implement policies. These ultra smart control freaks are going to mess themselves up. Yeah, they are. Monica Richards, what is up? Said, hey Seji, didn't know what your B-Day was today. Mine was yesterday. Oh, happy belated birthday. Um, I believe this is a fake emergency test that is a test on tones on the human brain, reaction to sound that starts at 2:20 Eastern time. No, you're right. You're right, but like I said, I leave stuff specifically where it is because I understand that a lot of people are not there yet, understanding how sounds and frequencies can, specifically react to the human body, um, and also to the mind, and, and different things, like that. So like I said, some stuff I'm not going to, severely, try to really, talk about or have conversations on, and and things like that, because like I said, I get it. Um, and I know that that might throw some people, directly into like a weird, like mental field, and certain things like that. So like I said, I let people find out the information. Um, how they just so happen to stumble across or find it out. Mainly I just wait for mainstream media to realistically put it out, because then when they put it out, people are comfortable enough to then want to start talking about it and then look into it, and stuff of that nature. Just like with the whole thing with UFOs and aliens. Now everybody has seen something now. Now everybody is a believer, right? Before, people were not fans of the X Files and different things that like that, and all that good stuff. And now everybody is like, yo, aliens, and yo, life is everywhere, right? But a long time ago, people were like, nah, humans on planet Earth are the only life that exists in the whole universe. And like I told y'all before, some of the live streams, I'm like, you're not going to tell me that we have somebody that created us, somebody who is just multiversal, and all of this other type of stuff outside of time and space itself, right? Has the power to create us, and then decided to only create us. That's boring. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's boring. You're only going to look at us. That is going to be a very boring thing to look at. Um, you might as well create, like, a field of life forms all over. Just have people spread out so that they don't know anybody else exists, and let people see how people basically, see how the life forms basically grow. Like I said, I just look at Earth as a giant petri dish. That's it. That is it at the end of the day. But I'm not, like I said, I've never stated or believed in the fact that we were the only ones directly out here. That would be quite a boring watch. I'm just going to be real. Human beings in general don't really do anything where it's like, oh wow, that's cool. No, we do quite stupid stuff. It's even to the effect of, you know, to the detriment of society, to the planet. You know, like I said, we've come through with what was it, the hydrogen bomb, the with nukes and all these other types of things. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that somebody out there has realized by now that it's like, yeah, this is looking a little bit dire. They're going to erase themselves sooner or later, and more than likely, it's going to be sooner rather than later. And pretty much that's going to be the last bit of humans. Like I said, so I understand why it is that people want to try to run to Mars, and they want to try to have citadels above the planet, and they want to try to go interstellar. I get it, because people already know that human beings are going to bring their own um their own in. So whatever. um Tia said, yo, what's up, Tia? What's up? Tia said, lead a horse to water. Yeah, that's bars. That is bars. Timothy said, this is the real census. Watch them have different polls on the news, particularly related to social media and streaming. Um, Yo, Fox, what is up? What is up? What is up? Fox said, good afternoon, said you and family, peace and all, and happy birthday. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Timothy said, every piece of fiction has some truth. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's very difficult trying to have conversations. Even if you have, like the literature, and you can, point out a lot of different things, it's hard having those conversations, because a lot of people don't tend to want to believe, a lot of things. Again, which is cool. Like I've told people before, it's nothing wrong with questioning everything. But it does get to a point where you just question everything and then decide to believe nothing. And that's quite dangerous. Shamika Gray said, I am Groot. Wow. Gil said, I hope so. I'm tired of them. It's sickening and they don't stop. Yeah, that's true. That is completely true. But I did say that uh, I wanted to basically just, do a short live stream, just bring up a few different things. So again, I'm just going to put just as a recap for some people up there. We got two black men, and that opened up a store called Indie Fresh Market, and they brought a grocery store directly to an area that is a food desert. It is a black area. It is black owned. Two black men, did this. So this is why you see all of these black people here. You got elders, you got people like dapping up. You got the brother in the suit, like, "Hey, my man," he just, he rolling up proud and everything. Like I said, that's a proud moment, right? Two black men, bringing a grocery store to, the black community. And then the other story that I brought to you guys earlier was this one here, where you got the black father taking care of, you know, his child. So again, positive, some positive stories, directly out there to take with you, today. Um, so again, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and everybody in attendance. Yo, Mike Harris, what is up? What is up? Um, Said people have no idea what's about to happen. That's facts. Timothy says start collecting your defenses, especially black men will be the first ones on the targeting list. That's true. Ashley Barber, what is up? Shamika Gray said happy belated birthday, bro. Much love, respect, and appreciation. But again, you know, this is just an image that I feel that people should, take with them instead of the normal, everyday image that is, in a sense, given by way of the media or those that just so happen to hate black men. So, um, but anyways, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all of you guys who are, currently here. And I'm going to end the live stream on that. And I will see you guys on the next one.